Yo, what's poppin'? You know what time it is? Your boy, Mr. J Hill Podcast. We are in the building. This is actually day 2. I got a special guest in the building. 2004 Olympic gold medalist. But entrepreneur, of course, he's doing his thing in business. But beyond that, somebody who defied the odds, went through all type of adversity. I mean, it's funny. I want to say more than twice, right? I want to say more than once because, as we know, the public know, he went through some things twice in the public. But just us being us, and I'm sorry I got to do it, us being black men, I mean, being from Brooklyn, New York, that's an odd in itself, right? So you might think it was 2 things, but I mean, we've been going through things our entire life. This guy, we spoke yesterday for a little bit. We had some technical difficulties. He stayed an hour after, and I feel like, I mean, you know, we can't throw the friend word around loosely, but he's a good acquaintance of mine for now. Let's just say for now. Justin Gatlin is in the building. What up, brother?
What's up, my man?
My God,
you good, man? Cheers.
Yes, sir.
I want to say
course.
cheers to you, man.
I appreciate you.
Cheers to you and cheers to the show.
Nah, thank you.
Man.
For you were so patient yesterday. I feel like a lot of the conversation I wish we didn't have, but I just feel like it was just.
It was just natural, man.
Yeah.
It was just so natural.
Nah, facts. I feel like we're going to get that again.
Yeah.
Like,
and at the end of the day, yes, we friends, brother.
I appreciate that, bro, for real.
Like how you saying downstairs in the lobby is like, you know, as black men, we got to know how to be able to be comfortable around other black men, give them their flowers, and also represent, you know what I'm saying, for another black man. Even if I ain't grow up with you, we ain't go to the same school, but you know what? You doing positive things. And I got to stand behind that because that's what I believe in.
Bro, let's go to it then. Yo, I want to give you your flowers, and I shout out Drink Champs all the time. If I had a box full of flowers, I would give it to you right now, right? And let's do that figuratively. We just imagine this is a box of flowers. Yo, you were, I mean, and still is like a legend, right? One, do you feel that? Does it feel like you're a legend?
I guess so. I mean, I say I guess so because when you are so obsessed with the process, you don't think about the accolades that come with it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a champion. I know I'm a champion because I worked for it. I achieved it, right? And I moved on to the next project, or I moved on to the next mission, right? And then once I look back, I accumulated all this, and I'm like, well, damn, shit, I guess I am a legend. But then I realized the ones we're praising on TV now for winning one race and running one fast time, they goated. And I realized that for me, I've been doing it for almost 20 years.
Facts.
20 years. And through all my ups and downs, if you look at it, I did everything you could imagine in track and field. I accomplished everything. I didn't leave no stone unturned, good or bad. You know what I mean? So I have a different perspective of my sport and mindset as well.
It gotta make it feel good. Like, you retired what, 2 years ago, a year ago?
2021, yeah.
So you retired 2 years ago. It got to make it easier to retire when you leave no stone unturned and you have so much success, right? Or is it still just as hard?
It's just as hard, dog.
Oh, man. I'm imagining, because I'm just thinking about, like, Tom Brady. I'm like, bro, come on. It should be easy to walk away, bro. Like,
It's not, though, because think about it. I did this my whole adult life. Tom Brady did that his whole adult life.
Yeah.
And then one day you going to wake up and you ain't doing it no more. It ain't like a regular 9-to-5 job where you can kind of segue in and be like, hey, Ronnie's about to retire, y'all. He's at this age. Hey, we're going to have a party for him and everything like that. And think about sports, period, across the board. There's a lot of people out there that we would dub a legend or GOAT, and then they didn't get the proper send-off. You know what I mean? Because in sports, the fairy tale ending is something that we all chase. But a lot of us don't get to achieve it, dog. We don't get to achieve it.
Facts.
And that mirrors life.
Hold up. So many questions already. I'm going to push back a little bit. I feel like the ones we call legends, I don't know if this is the right terminology, the major sports, they do get the right send-offs. When we look at track, right, I don't think y'all just do, period. So let alone the right send-off. So we talk about Tom Brady's shit. If LeBron James was to stop today, Michael Jordan's, whatever legend you can name that you can think of, right? Shit, even to golf, we go to, what's my guy name? Tiger Woods. Just being honest, right?
Yeah.
You guys are competing for the world, for the United States. Y'all competing against the world for the United States, right? And I don't think y'all get y'all just due. I don't think you got the right send off. So I would push back.
I agree with you, 100%. I mean, especially in our sport, I don't think a lot of people in our sport got the right send off. They may got a send off, but it wasn't the right send off, man. You know, you making history.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I could open up textbooks from school and see me in the textbooks. You know what I mean? I've been in a New York Times crossword puzzles. You know what I mean? So my name has been out there. And you have a lot of athletes who've been in that kind of same situation, but don't get the just due because I think it's our sport. Our sport is more worldwide recognized and not really strong in domestically, meaning America.
Bro, all right, before I get to how does it feel, right? I told you this is gonna be easy. It's similar to your hometown. So I paint a picture, right? A lot of the audience know I started hosting, right? When I first started hosting, it's not about me, it's about you, but just paint a picture. When I started hosting with big crowds, but outside of the city.
Yeah.
Just like your up and coming rapper though, we all want to feel love at home.
Yeah.
So we overlook the big stages we're on, and I'm wondering because we all want to feel home, just like I'm assuming track, just how track can mirror life. Was it times where you was frustrated? Or moments that you didn't feel like you got the real love from home because you competed on a worldwide a worldwide stage?
Home was different for me because my achievements were the Olympics, right? So once I got home, I had billboards up on the streets just in time. My billboard, I'm coming across the line. You know, I went to you know what a civic center is basically, right? You know, so I had an autograph signing at the Civic Center. There was so many people there to see me to get autographs and sign. I literally sat there for like 2.5 hours just signing autographs, saying hello to people in the community. That's it. So my love from my city has always been, it's been real. You know what I mean? It's been tried and true. You know, even through my bad times, like they really stuck by me. You know, I had people reach out to me and was like, man, fuck track. You don't got to do that no more. Come work with me. And I mean, these are people who are making millions of dollars, right? Just come have a job. And as much as I would love to take it, it was never about the money for me or a different opportunity for leveling up. It was about me achieving the goal that I set out in front of me. And that was track. So that's what I wanted to do.
So you got the love from home, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
But do you feel like you got the same amount of love countrywide in the United States as a whole?
Later. Later. In pockets as well. It's so random, dog. I can go to Publix shopping center and I could be shopping, people recognize me. Or I could be out the club, bouncer recognize me. And I don't move like I have to be a superstar. You know what I mean? Like I move like a regular dude.
Hindsight is always 20/20.
Yeah.
If you can tap into the times where I don't want to be transparent, be vulnerable. Tap into times where it was frustrating, if ever. Cause bro, I go out every now and again and get recognized, right? Bro, you're Justin Gatlin. You're like, when I'm thinking, because I'm a track fan, I'm thinking Justin Gatlin, I'm thinking Usain Bolt, I'm thinking LeBron James, I'm thinking Tom Brady. Am I overhyping it? Help me if I just feel like for me, you beat Usain Bolt, right?
Yeah.
So like y'all are on. Yeah, granted, because I don't want to take nothing away from him. He's definitely put a whole new look on the sport, and we got to give him his respect.
Yeah.
But when it comes to competing, you are up there with the greats. So when you say, yeah, I go out, the bouncer recognize me, like, wait, I don't, that doesn't make sense for me. Help me out. Did that ever frustrate you at a time?
Being recognized or not being recognized?
Not being recognized.
Not being recognized?
Yeah, or being recognized once in a blue. Like, what? Like, I can't understand that. Help me out.
Nah, bro. I mean, I'm cool with just being. When you achieve a certain status or stardom, everyone knows who you are. Everyone knows how you move. Everyone knows where you're gonna be. So when you get some kind of a moment of just being normal, right? It's like a breath of fresh air sometimes, where I can just do something normal. I can't walk around. I mean, I've tried so hard so many times, wear a hat, wear glasses, try to just disguise myself enough to where I can just go out and just be normal, fit in. and they still recognize me. It don't even matter. You know what I mean? So I just accept it. It is what it is.
So you do feel like a star then? It's not like,
yeah,
or is it 50-50?
it's 50-50.
Okay.
It's 50-50.
Okay, I see that.
It's the energy I feel like I also give off. So if I give off and I come in the room and, you know, I'm flexing, I'm doing my thing, then you know it's like, hey, damn, who that? Who that over there? Oh, that's such and such. Then I'm gonna get that attention. If I'm low key and I'm just kind of just moving around and just chilling and everything like that, then they'll still recognize me. But I think the energy I'm giving off is like, oh, that's old dude, but he's just chilling, man. Just let him be. You know?
Let me ask you this then, not to dwell here, right? Okay, I feel like the competitors and all of us, no matter if you play sports, I don't know, you play video games, whatever, like we all want a piece of legacy with our name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the record books, are you satisfied with the legacy you have left behind? Outside of the record books, would you be happy with? Are you content with it?
I mean, you come up with the questions today, dog.
I'm just curious.
You come with the questions today. That's hard. I am, but it's hard for me to say I am completely because I always want more, dog.
Yeah, that's what I'm curious.
You know what I'm
about.
saying?
Yeah.
You always want more.
For sure.
You always want more.
But I don't think, again, not to keep going, I don't see a LeBron. I'm only saying greats. I don't see a LeBron James saying he want more. I don't think I would see Usain Bolt. And that's why I'm at, because I feel like it's a disservice. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong.
I mean, it's different levels, though. You look at someone like LeBron James, he's basketball, yes, it's worldwide, but it's dominating America, right? So everyone's watching basketball from a young age, growing up, the finals, all of America is stopping to watch who's going to win the finals. And when you handpicked, and I'm not going to say the word handpicked, but when you have shown that you are one of one, like a LeBron or Jordan, you know
Kobe,
what I'm saying, or
yeah.
Steph or Kobe, whatever like that, then you're going to garner a certain amount of attention that other athletes who work probably just as hard as you won't obtain because of your talent level and your skill set. You know what I mean? And someone like LeBron, yeah, he's going to have that kind of attention where he's not going to want anymore. What does he need? And his tax bracket is different, dog. You know what I mean? It's if you can make enough money to where you don't have to want for anything, what do you need? It only take time for you to get it. It may take 2 seconds. It may take 2 months, but you're going to get it.
Right.
Because you have the opportunity to have that.
Okay.
But I think for an athlete, certain things that we can't achieve is like time. Like I guarantee you between Tom, myself, Usain, LeBron, like there are always going to be moments in your career that you wish you can have back to do something different, and you won't be able to achieve that again.
Because even for, again, I'm a fan right now. Even for people that might be saying I'm over-exaggerating. Okay, let's say Usain Bolt is next to Tom Brady, to LeBron. I'm trying to be fair. So I'm not trying to be disfair. I'm just being fair.
Yeah.
Even if I had to put you on a level of Peyton Manning, I feel like he still got his, like, am I tripping, guys? Like you get what I'm trying to say here? I feel like he still got and I feel like it, correct me if I'm wrong, but now that I'm thinking about it, the top competitors in the sport, I feel like that might be a frustration sport-wide, because now I think about, what's the guy that's killing it right now?
In what?
Track.
You got Noah Lyles.
Noah Lyles.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
just made a statement of NBA, they're not world champions. So am I wrong? Because now that I'm thinking about it, he's expressing a frustration that I would feel. Like, bro, like, they're not world champions. First, well, we're going to get about what you think about that, but do you feel like that's a frustration sport-wide? Like, bro, like, we deserve the same recognition.
I think when it comes down to knowing that certain, like, let's just say sponsorship, right? Sponsorship is always going to lean to what is they know, for one, history-wise, and what is popular, right? And in our sport, especially, let's say male sprinting. Male sprinters are only going to be around, you know what I'm saying? The average elite male sprinter is going to be 2 cycles. 2 cycles means 8 years.
Yeah, 2.
So, you know, every Olympics, right? So you're lucky to have an athlete make it from one Olympics to be able to either defend his title for the next Olympics. That's a tall order. You feel what I'm saying? So when that situation happens, you got to look at the longevity of things.
Mm.
The longevity of things really do matter. And I think the frustration comes from the fact of popularity over real work, hard work. You know what I mean? A craft. You are a fan of track and field, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. If you sat down with somebody who's not a fan of track and field, right? Like I'll make pretend I'm the fan.
Come on,
I'm
yeah.
you the
I'm
fan.
with you. I'm listening
I'm
to
not
you.
the fan, right? I'm gonna go to a track meet with you. I'm gonna tell you, track look like chaos. Because there's somebody jumping over here, there's somebody running around the track, a group of people running around the track over here. Damn, where'd they go? They just left. Oh, they must be finished. Now people straining, hurdling, and doing all this, and they pole vaulting over here. It looks like a circus.
Yeah.
It needs to be, track needs to evolve and change. And I think if it evolves and changes, you'll see that individuals will get the recognition that needed, because in track, we look at their performances and we don't recognize their persona. You see what I'm saying? Where in basketball, you recognize persona along with their performance. You know how LeBron acts. You know how Michael Jordan is. You know how Dennis Rodman is. You see what I'm saying? Because people love a character, but they also love a talented character. We don't get that recognition because we don't get that much TV time. We don't get that much presence.
Okay. I get that. It's kind of, again, I'll still push it back, but it's kind of like football. Because I used to, even being in high school, I used to be jealous of the basketball guys because they get the haircuts, they playing, people seeing them, they know their name.
Yeah.
We put a helmet on, you know the number, you know if we won, like, you don't really know us, our personality for real.
I get that.
But even still, the greats get their love. And I'm just fighting for you. I'm sorry. I'm fighting.
Hey, brother. I ain't going to stop you from fighting for me, dad.
So, all right, curious, this is a fun moment. How do you feel about the statement, they aren't world champions, talking about NBA players?
I mean, technically it's true. But I will say this. I think what really sparked the controversy is the fact that it was what he said and how he said it. It was said in a manner of like, of what? What are they world champions of? Like, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all scrubs, basically. You know?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of,
that's
a stretch.
The feeling, I mean, the energy came off of that way,
okay,
right?
that's a reach, but. Okay.
But all right, if we line up our 5 best NBA players in the United States, born and raised, and you line up the 5 best in Argentina or Nigeria or anywhere else, we mopping them, bro.
Easy.
We mopping
Facts,
them. You see what I'm saying? So I think in that situation, when it comes to the NBA, world champion is subjective. Because if you do the numbers, they're the best in the world. We just shortcutting it and saying that, you know, they're the world champions and they only play in America.
Am I wrong? Help me out. I might be a little premature, bro. I'm a fan, but like I ain't really like an OD crazy fan. But if I'm premature, help me out. Tell me I'm reaching.
All right.
I feel like at the time, if you lined up the 5 fastest sprinters in the United States and you line up the 5 fastest sprinters anywhere, like Jamaica, like
I
they been fast.
Bro, I already know where you're going with this.
Come on, like at the time it was the same thing.
Yeah.
Am I tripping?
No, you ain't tripping.
All right.
You ain't tripping.
Okay.
You ain't tripping.
Cause like Shelly Ann, who is it? Sharika, Usain, like they really nice. They're great, but it wasn't always like that.
Yeah.
Like I mean,
the United States has a deeper, richer history in sprinting.
Yeah,
and we usually come with the numbers.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm right. All right. I'm about to say.
I give it to you. You're right.
Cause
we need more recognition. I would love more recognition. You know what I mean? Because when I look at myself, I'm gonna be humble about it, but I'm the nigga.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, facts,
I done it all. I've been through it.
Your
you know
fastest time was can somebody grab somebody from the door right there? Just open it. Oh shit, my bad. Yeah, my bad. You got it. It's open pack right there. Ask him what you got it. Yeah, so your fastest time was 971?
974.
974. This was 2004? This when you won the Olympics?
No.
You ran a 974 at 30 something.
I ran 974s at 37. I was 37 years old and I ran 5.97s in a season, and no one, not even Usain Bolt, has done that.
Yo.
But that was mindset though, bro.
Everybody always talk this mindset, bro. I don't.
Mindset real, dog? What do you mean? It's real.
You think it was it was your mindset thing.
I went into the season with the intent of saying, okay, you got people like Usain who's running 9.6s. You got Johan Blake who's ran 9.6. You got Tyson Gay who's ran 9.6. You know what I'm saying? At that point in time, I was like, all right, well, how can I get to 9.6 and even better? I got to normalize 9.7. How am I going to achieve something that's a 9.7 and work towards 9.7 and hope that I get 9.6? It don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? Even to the point of you starting training, you have to know what you're training for. You have to know what time you're training for, right? So my thing is I'm going to normalize 9.7. So if I run enough 9.7s myself, my body's going to know how to be able to. Exactly. So when I get in the dog fight, I'm 9.7, so I know I'm going up. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to drop that 9.6 on the dog. About to run up out the skin. You know what I mean? So that was my whole mindset. So I used my mindset in the beginning of the season. I set my regimen. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. So if I was out there pulling sleds and pushing sleds 60 meters with 45-pound weights, double that shit. Put on another 45 on there. Because guess what's inevitable? Pain. Facts. Pain is inevitable. It's going to happen. Win or lose, you're going to feel some kind of pain. Either you're going to feel some kind of pain in the beginning when you are working hard for it, and then when you out there competing, it make it easy. It looks easy, right? Or either you're going to bullshit through your training season and you wishing upon a star and hoping that your season's going to be amazing. You're going to dogfight for it, and then that's where the next pain going to come in. Trying to get it. So I said, I'll do the pain here so I can live forever over here.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Again, a lot of these questions are just fan questions. Hope the audience don't be too mad.
They probably want to know too, bro.
All right.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm curious. How do you know when you're at your peak, right? The highest you can go. And can you train through that, or genetically, is it just a certain amount or a certain amount of pain or performance that your body can do?
So you mean as in like when you're in the season and you're peaking and you're like at your best?
In general, like how do you know when a human is just like, let's say 9.6, right?
Yeah.
9.6, like how do you know that my body can't get a 9.5, right? Like 'cause some people I feel like we're built differently. Or is that always a training thing that you can always break?
I just think it's outliers. You know what outliers are? People who stand out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, people who open the door for the rest of society, and people who think that 9.5 is impossible, and then it only takes one person to run 9.5, and now you're like, wait a minute, I think we can do that. Well, let's reverse engineer what he did to get there, and then now we can do it, and that's how we replicate. That's human, dog. That's
so you saying that's not just a genetic thing but somebody could train to do that?
Both. I'm gonna go with both, to be honest, man. You know what I mean? Do I think there's a whole bunch of 9.5s just rolling out here? Hell no. 9.5 is a very tall order to fill. But at the same time, if you have a special individual who have the technique and the tools and the mindset to do it, then they can.
Like, for example, you're 6'1".
I'm giving myself 6'2", 6'1.5". You know what I'm saying?
You know,
we're
going to do that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You saying it's what, 6'5"?
Yeah, you're saying
so
6'5".
Let's say legs, right?
Yeah.
You are really good.
Yeah.
He's built differently. Do you think you could have ever, what he did, 9.58?
Yeah.
Do you think you could have, bro?
Listen, when Usain ran 9.58, I remember where I was sitting at. I was sitting at a bar here, actually in Atlanta. I lived in Atlanta at the time. And I got so many phone calls, and people were so scared because it blew their mind. They never thought somebody could run that fast. So they were actually athletes who left from running the 100 meters. They're like, I'm going to find another event. I'm not even doing this, dog. I can't even win. I mean, what am I training for? Silver?
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, they can't even win. But my mindset, when I saw him do that, dog, I was like, I want to race that guy. Just like that. I want to race that guy. Because I feel like if that guy did it, there has to be a way for me to do it. There has to be a way for me to train, learn techniques, learn angles, understand regimen, and I can be able to compete against him. I like the battle.
I mean, of course, but I don't see anything less than that, though. But as we talk, I don't see you doing anything. I don't see you leaving 100. Like, I feel like that's normal for, again, I never ran, I didn't run at a professional level, but when I talk, certain people just are built from a different club. So, like, I don't even, somebody.
When I came back in the sport, with the intent to bang with you, what you saying.
We see other sports where people have these rivalries and they become friends. Do you talk to Usain at all? You know?
Yeah, we cool. We've been out. We clubbed before. You know what I'm saying? Like, and obviously, if you ever watched like 2017 when I beat him in the World Championships, he showed me love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, now we the kind of people that we gonna sit and play, play PS5 together and do stuff like that. Nah, because it's always gonna be that wall of like threat. You see what I'm saying?
Even after the sport is over?
After the sport, I don't care, bro. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what I'm saying. Like,
you know what I
now,
mean?
like, where y'all at now?
I knew that we were gonna get to this point, bro, like 8 years before it's time for me to retire. I was like, bro, we're gonna get old, we're gonna get fat, we're gonna look back and be like, damn, man, you remember that time we ran them fast? These little kids ain't running nowhere where we running at. Because now you go from being a competitor to being more of an advocate of each other's legacies. You know what I'm saying? So I knew when I came back into the sport, I knew that this was legacy time. Like, if I'm gonna get back to the top, I gotta fight to get back to the top for one, and then two, I gotta beat him to get back to the top.
Yeah, cause like y'all rivalry was like, I don't say intimate, I don't know what a good word for, but like y'all were really shit. When he did his documentary, he brought you up. Like Justin Gatlin was a part of my motivation. There was a time where I wasn't motivated and I looked up and I'm like, oh nah. So he made me stay on my P's and Q's.
So two things. I've never watched the documentary. Still to this day, I've not watched the documentary. And then I'm not against it though. You know what I'm saying? It's just never been presented and put in front of me to watch it. You know what I mean? It's like that. You ain't finna pour no drink for no other dude. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, well, cool. If I'm with somebody, they put it on, I'll watch it. You know what I mean? But and then the second one is, damn, I forgot.
It's all good. Well, you'll remember. Just bring it back up.
Yeah.
Yo, you did they ain't never do a documentary on you?
We did short docs. We did a couple of short docs. But I'm working on something right now, actually.
When did you do a short doc?
Actually, it was on BET.
BET?
Yeah.
How long ago was this?
Man, right before maybe 2012, right? The 2012 Olympics.
I'm everywhere, but I swear I'm on fan shit. I'm sorry. Seeing, because we talked about it yesterday, seeing Sydney McLaughlin's, it was like I wouldn't even say it was a short doc, it was a vlog.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's a vlog. Seeing her vlog, compared to like your doc back in 2012.
Yeah.
Do you be like, man, I wish I had this type of technology when I was coming up in the game?
Man, now you gonna make me sound old as hell, dog.
I'm just curious because I'm like, just thinking about it.
It's true though. It's true. I ain't gonna lie. There's been times I look and I be watching like, man, if we had this when I was like in my prime, dog, I would be killing it, dog.
Thanks.
Technology, everything. I mean, even down to the spikes they wear now, all kind of stuff, dog. So it's like the past is always gonna look to the future and have some kind of envy. Now, are you hating? I don't think you're hating. There are a lot of people out there from the past who will hate on the future because of certain things like that, right? But at the end of the day, I like her vlog, man. I guess we could say it's a vlog, right?
Yeah, it was. I think it was actually a vlog.
Yeah, I liked her vlog because I think it really showed her as the athlete she is. And I know we spoke on it before.
Yeah.
I felt like I was not seeing enough of Sydney. You know, like, give me more Sydney. Talk a little more. Tell me a little more about you. What do you like? What do you like to do outside the track? I felt like through some of the vlogs, it was more about her preparing for her races. Yeah. And then, the support of her husband and her coach. And I feel like her husband was way more vocal. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I didn't look at it at a deeper perspective. And what I mean by that is I felt what she felt. Sometimes you don't want that camera on you. Sometimes it's all about doing work, dog. You know what I mean? If you gonna film me from over here. Right. I got stuff to do. Because if I lose, guess who's gonna be in front of me first? You with that camera.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Sheesh. Yo, wait, bro. It's so much to talk about. Damn. All right. So with that being said, though, how important is it to have someone? Because I feel like through the vlog docu, a short docu, whatever, we were able to see her husband's personality, but I think they also expressed two things that I thought was interesting. Her faith in God, but also him kind of pushing that on her for her to get out there. And I think that's important. How important is that to have somebody like, yo, like, I know you might not want it, but we got to get this. We got to get your personality on camera. We got to show them who you are.
I think it's important. And like I was saying, it don't matter what you're talking about. You know what I mean? You could be talking about your faith and your religion. You could be talking about what music you like. You could be talking about cooking. You could talk about partying. You could talk about whatever you want to talk about. But the fact is, there's a lot of people out there who are your fans and your supporters and people who are just witnessing what you're doing. And they want to, at some point, they are enchanted by the times you're running, and then they're in awe by it. But they want to know who that person is behind the times.
Facts. Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now, listen. She got her stuff together because she did the doc. You know, she just came out with a book. She came out with a book like a week ago.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, she was promoting it. Yep.
Yeah, so who knows? By the time she gets to the later half of her career, she might do more of a
open up personality
kind of thing. But she's doing it right. Those are things that I think that if I had to go back in time in my career, I would allow that to happen. I would have done it that way.
Hold up, bro. Hold up. Because I'm about to go there. I was going to ask. I feel like, for the most part, track and field stars, they aren't as personable. Like, they suit and tie clean could get to the business, right?
Yeah.
You have a few far in between who show that personality. It's crazy because you gotta back it up. But you have a little bit, Sha'Carri Richardson, Justin Gatlin, Usain Bolt, Noah Lyles we see. We have a few, even the young guy, not really. The 18-year-old, 19-year-old, what's his name? Young guy from
Arian.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah. But you have a few that show that personality.
Yeah.
And I think it helps with the sport.
Yeah.
So it's funny hearing you say like you would do it differently coming up, but I feel like we need one or two because not too many people are showing that personality.
Well, you know, when I was their age, damn, I sound old, dog. when I was their age, we didn't have that. We didn't have instantaneous social media. You see what I'm saying? We had Facebook, we had MySpace. You know what I'm saying? So we had situations where we weren't going to get that same platform. Now, sometimes you don't even need sponsors, bro, because you can build your own platform persona, and guess who's going to come to you? You're going to have sponsors that's going to DM you, going to come to you. So sometimes you don't even need an agent or a publicist.
But not to cut you off, right? Not even just social media. I'm saying on the track, though. Like, when, Usain Bolt come out there, you come out there, you feel me? Like, you got,
you need that kind of energy.
Yeah, like, I feel like, I think that is needed from
I'm big on that.
Okay.
We only get 9 seconds, bro.
Exactly. Okay.
You know what I mean? And if you go down the list and the roll call are like, hey, lane 1 is this person, lane 2 is this person. When it comes to you, you may get another 10 seconds on top of that. So what, you get like 19 seconds? You get 19 seconds to show the world who you are. You know what I mean? You're going to get your name called. You're going to do your little gesture. You know what I mean? And then you're going to run the race and hopefully you win. Because guess what? If you don't win, then the camera's not on you after that. So that's all you got.
So let me ask you this then. You're not that dominant in your race. Do you still suggest to show personality? I'm curious, because that's kind of hard to add.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a girl from Australia, and she hurdles. And in the beginning, she was a nobody, dog. She wasn't winning no races, right? Every time her name was called, she'd do this little jiggle dance, you know what I mean? Hop up and down, right? And it went viral because of that. They didn't care about what time she ran or nothing, dog. You know how this generation is.
Yeah.
They focus on other things than what should be important, right? So over time, that confidence grew and she became popular, and then she was getting invites to meets. And then now she at World Championship.
Because of the social media
Exactly.
I like that.
You know what I mean? So all this, the hair, the nails, for some of them, it's natural. Like for Sha'Carri, it's natural. That's who she is. That's her persona. So it makes it easy, right? But some people have to create it. So, you know what I mean? I think Noah is him, but he also puts on a little bit. It's a creation to show showman. You got to be a showman because at the end of the day, when you think about sports, and you omit like scores and times, it's actually entertainment.
That's a fact.
That's what it is.
It is. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yo, what happened to the tall guy? He was running the one for a minute, for a second, and he was doing good. Another United States guy, he's a 400 runner, but he started running a one, and he started going crazy. Tall guy, Bill, I forgot his name. Anybody know his name?
We had Fred Curley.
I ain't see him in the one. What happened? He good? I'm just curious. I don't know.
I think he had an injury this year, so he didn't get a chance to defend his title though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Outside of that, this question does not correlate with who I just asked about. But give me some more of that vulnerability, right? Give me some more of that old man. Knowing what everybody got now, knowing what y'all didn't have, are you impressed?
Am I impressed?
Yeah. Don't give me radio. Just give me real. How you really feel?
No, I'm impressed.
Why? What's the biggest? Makes the biggest impression?
Because I think that they've tapped into something different, and what I
What?
mean by that, like this generation is they found a way to not work as hard and still achieve superior time.
And that impresses you.
It impresses me because now if you think of it as a business, right? And instead of working 10 hours, you only have to work 6.
We just talked about it.
And you still getting the same amount of views, you still getting the same amount of subscribers, and even more, because now it's a different world. You see what I'm saying? So that impresses me, the fact that they're able to go out there and run those times, and I look at their angles, and I'm like, man, their angles are off, but they're still running certain times. You know, like that impresses me.
I still would be a little hater. I'm sorry. I'm just like, what?
All right, so there's a difference though. So I'm impressed. A lot of them still have a long way to go to get to the status of being called a legend, though. So I hold that judgment is on reserve right now.
But is that true? Because we throw this GOAT word around so loosely nowadays.
I don't throw it around. Y'all throw it around. You throw that around, dog.
I mean,
y'all
the
go,
world.
Man, they'll go out there and win one race. They goated. Oh, man, they goated. Get that man a GOAT sign. Give him a GOAT emoji.
Yo, what times are we running now? I'm curious. What's Noah fastest 100 right now?
9.8. I mean, no one's doing anything that we haven't already done at all. So
when you look at that, how do you what are you thinking? Like, does that gotta make you feel a little more cocky, like confident, like these niggas not me, like they good.
But, you know, because the season before they was running 9s like it wasn't nothing. I was like 9.7s, like I was like, damn, dog, they out there rolling, dog. Because I thought it was a moment. I was like, man, you know, I might come back this year. Until they start putting them times down, I was like, damn, dog, it's gonna be a dog fight. And then this year, this past, it was like the complete opposite. A lot of them either was injured or they just didn't hit the mark right. You know what I mean? And I was like, man, hold on. I might have to be like, lace them up real quick.
This is gonna sound bad. I'm not hating, I swear. This is strictly knowing this sport. You train Sha'Carri. Speaking of us throwing this GOAT word around, right? This is hard to ask. What did you think? Because at a time, like I love her, I wish her nothing but the best. But times is times. That's one thing you can't take away.
Yeah.
So it was a time where everybody, even like now, they like, Sha'Carri is the best 100 runner. Like people that don't really know the sport. And I sound like a hater because I'm like, bro, you crazy. Like you got Sharika Jackson and Shelly Ann Frazier. Like I don't see her getting first, but people will hype her because she would come in first with the, in high school, we call them invitationals.
Yeah.
For y'all have like just other meets outside of Olympics. I don't know. But
Diamond Leagues,
exactly.
stuff like that, yeah.
What was your opinion of looking at Sha'Carri? Of course, training her, looking at the times and looking at the people she was running against.
As in what? At the end of the day,
was
winning?
Was it like, yo, she's really good or she got more work to do?
Bruh, there's always going to be a certain type of athlete that's going to show you not glimmers of greatness, but like
sparks.
They're great.
Okay,
She's one of those athletes.
I like that. But
watching her at practice, some days it will blow your mind because you look at the clock, you be like, man, I know that time is wrong. But then you go over to one of the coaches, and they'll be like, look at that, and it'll be comparable. You know what I mean? And you would start thinking like, man, you have something special. Because that's the first time you'll really see something special in person, right? But then you realize that specialness is wrapped in just a normal human being. Like someone who just want to chill, someone who don't want to be bothered, someone who just want to be somewhere on a beach somewhere. I don't want to be out here training, you know what I mean? But then once the next evolution of that specialness is when they had that aha moment, bro. That aha moment where you've been telling for so long, like, you can run this shit. Like, this is yours. Like, you have the keys to the kingdom. Take them out your pocket, get the job done, right?
Okay. So
I think that moment has come, and that's why you're seeing Sha'Carri become more dominant.
Okay. So I'm not, or not even now, I wasn't hating a year ago when I was saying she's good, just not better than XYZ or just not there yet?
She's good. She just wasn't ready for that moment. She ready for that moment.
It made me
now.
feel better. So
You
I
see what
wasn't
I'm saying?
hating. I was.
Yeah.
That was. I thought
No,
I had some
you was
real-
right. You was right.
Okay. So you think she's ready now?
Yeah, she ready. She just won the world championships. She beat Sharika. She beat Shelly Ann.
Which is major.
It's major. And she did it from lane 9.
Major.
So you already know. You
Yeah.
already, from a track and field
Yeah.
experience, you know it. You
by
lane
yourself.
9, dog,
Yeah.
that's no man's land, dog.
Like you by yourself then.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You want
Use-
to be in the middle where you can feel it, where you can run against people you feel like it,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Lane 9, you damn near running by yourself.
Bro, we always, a running joke is, if you get lane 1 or lane 9, you must have won a radio contest. Because usually those people that get those lanes,
They're the slowest times.
they
usually.
usually the slowest times. You figure out, you don't know who they are. Like, where'd you come from? Who are you? Right?
Yeah.
You just lane filler.
They
basically.
barely, exactly.
Right?
You're a lane filler. Yep.
So for her, and it's a world championship. So once you get to the finals, everyone from lane 1 to lane 9 is respectable, right? They are the times. But for her to be such a threat to the Jamaicans, Shelly Ann and Sharika, you would have thought she would have been inside of the race, like more interior, right?
And that's kind of disrespectful now that I think about it.
I've been there, bro. In 2017, they had me in lane 8. And Usain was in lane 3.
That's like crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? But it also has a gift and a curse because it was like, you out there, but then now, if you are really good at what you can do, you can just focus on your race. It almost becomes a time trial, bro, which is even more deadly because she basically is out there in lane 9, not knowing where anybody is, especially her biggest threats, and she's just hauling ass, running, breaking world championship records and everything. Now, what's she gonna do with that confidence now? And now she has that medal around her neck, and now she has a something to stand for, and something to fight for now, right? I'm a world champion, dog. You can't take that away from me. I gotta fight for it. So now when she starts lining up with these girls, she have a little more confidence.
You know, it's crazy. It's almost like she needed that, what was it, a year ago? 2 years ago, maybe? The whole marijuana thing. When I say she needed it because, not saying she was too confident or nothing like that, but I think it showed her how much these people don't really care about you. Right? Because, like, at one point, everybody, Sha'Carri Richardson. As soon as something happened, and I'm pretty sure you could feel the same way. Like
100%. I came in as a golden boy, just in the same situation, dog. Same situation.
And then you on top of the world.
On top of the world.
As soon as something happened, so many naysayers, so many people, critics, and point out what you shouldn't do and how you're wrong.
Yeah.
Did that change? Even just think about it. Did that change your mentality coming back in it?
Absolutely. It hardened me, made me more callous. It made me realize that the world wasn't for me. The world's against me now. And I have to be for myself. And I had to build a whole different persona. I had to go from being Justin Gatlin to being Jay Gat. So when I stepped on the track, Jay Gat didn't care. Jay Gat was there to do battle. Jay Gat was there to win. Because he knew that 7 of the guys were lined up there. They trying to take food out your mouth and money out your pocket. That's mine. And I gave y'all a head start. I've been gone for 4 years. Now I'm back. What we about to do? You know what I mean? A lot of them dudes didn't want to see me come back into the game. But I'm back now. So we had to deal with this problem.
Let's make this a bigger issue or a bigger conversation. You needed that for the sport. How did that affect you in life outside of the sport? Because that's a messed up spot to be in, feeling like, man, nobody really care about me. Like
it was good for a moment because I was consistent with it, right? So I would be Jay Gat at practice. You know what I'm saying? I'll be ruthless. You know what I'm saying? I'll be intense. I'll get the job done, right? Competition didn't scare me. I was a competition. But then it started bleeding into my normal life. So that aggressiveness, that snappiness, it started seeping into like relationships. I'll start having fights over little stuff, arguments. I'll start blowing up, you know what I mean? Because I was always in fight mode. I felt like I really had to fight the world. I told myself, I was like, you got to battle the world. So even the woman I was loving, you know what I mean? Like it came to a point where I had to realize, like, bro, like you got to know how to turn it on and off. You got to be Jay Gat here and you got to be Justin here. Because Jay Gat here is going to destroy everything that you worked hard for outside of track and field.
Sheesh. That's a fact. And like they tell us that early in sports, just learn how to compartmentalize, right?
Yeah.
And it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
Yo, curious, was you You married, right?
Yeah.
Were you married during the break that when you had the suspension?
No.
Okay. Were y'all together?
No.
Okay. Because I was just curious, like how, like having somebody there for you during that moment. Did you have anybody there for you during that moment, or did you feel like it outside of women, like just and your mother and your? Because I feel like you talk about your parents all the time.
You know, my parents were there for me. During that situation, I moved back to my hometown, Pensacola.
Was that good?
Was it good?
Was that a good thing?
I don't know. I mean, you got to realize that my whole world just it was gone. Sponsors gone, everything was gone, right? Certain people that you relied on, they wasn't answering the phone. So, you know, I'm getting called from my mom's like, you know what? Pack up, come back home. You know?
Yeah.
What did I want to? Of course I didn't want to.
That had to be
mean?
like humiliating, but
it did. But looking at it now and being more mature about it, I needed that. Because if I stayed out there in the world where I wasn't getting loved, or people who are manipulative, they can slip in. They can act like they friends, and then guess what? The next thing you know, I'm getting DUIs, I'm getting drunk driving, I'm getting addicted to drugs, I'm getting put in jail, killing somebody, killing myself.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It can go that way.
It can go that way. Real talk, though. It can go that way. You know what I mean? So I think that my mom knew that I needed to surround myself with love and support at a time where it was the darkest moment of my life, you know? So, but from that, did I have support? I did, but it was people who didn't care about track. You feel me? Like those circle of friends who just like you for you.
Justin. Yeah.
Exactly. Those are the people who I was hanging out with more because I didn't know how the world of track and field perceived me, from meet promoters to agents to coaches to even other athletes. I didn't know. And I was scared to really find out. You know what I mean? At that point in time, I needed to heal myself first.
Man, shout out to moms, bro.
Yeah, moms.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, mom's A1. My mom's about to write my book.
That's hard.
From her perspective.
That's so fire.
Yeah.
That gotta put some pressure on you. Because you got a daughter and a son now. Or
Like
two sons. Two sons.
Yeah.
Got a son that's 3
and a son
and a son that's 13.
Yeah.
That gotta, like your mom being that person for you gotta make you wanna be that person for your children, like times 10 or something.
Oh, 100%. But I mean, naturally, I am that. Like, I'm a really good mixture of my mom and dad, for sure. You know what I mean? Like, so it comes natural. So with my kids, I'm gonna chastise them. I'm gonna punish them when they're bad. But when it comes to like life situations, from an early age, I tell them, look, you can do this or you can do that. This is gonna get you here. That's gonna get you there. What do you really want to do, right? And this or that could be good or bad, right? Like my son now, he's 13, and you know, he's amazing on the football field. He played the O-line. He played the D-line as well. He just had a game, yesterday, day before, and he had like 6 tackles, 2 sacks. So he plays hard. His mentality's in the game. He loves the game. But then I tell him, I was like, look, if you want to get to the next level, high school, college, whatever like that, this is where you have to operate and this is how you have to act. Because that's what's going to get you to that point. But if you don't, and you just want to be who you are, you want to be tardy and late to school and do all this kind of stuff like that, but still be an exceptional football player, it's going to catch up to you. Because what's going to happen is those coaches are going to know that you're a problem child. You know what I mean? You're not you don't listen when it's necessary outside of the football field. And no coaches from high school, college, or even the professional level, they're not going to lose sleep over you. You leave that field and you out there acting up, doing something you ain't supposed to do, you're going to get on the chopping block. You see what I'm saying? So I think that allowing my children to make those decisions is going to help get them to a level where they're making adult decisions early on. So it saves them from making childish decisions and mistakes that's going to set them back.
Yeah. Is it easy to, I guess, because he's playing football and not track, is it easy to be there and help coach because it's not track?
I'm dad, bro. I coach him, but at the end of the day, his godfather is like, hey, when my godfather gonna coach me again? When we gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's always gonna be like that. And I realize that. And I talk to other dads, you know what I mean? And even like, say for instance, like Tom. Tom Brady was like, you're always gonna be dad. So as much as accolades you have, much success you have, if you the GOAT or not the GOAT. The fact is you're a dad. They want to hear it from somebody else. Even if you tell them that, they want to hear it from somebody else so they can confirm it.
Well, let's outside of your son, right? Because you train a lot of kids as well, and you had
I train kids, but I also train professionals as well.
Let's say professionals. We see Coach Prime having so much success right now, or not even just right now. He's been having success as a coach, and I think a part of that was because he was able to take his greatness out of it and understand that everybody wasn't going to be him. And I think it, just from what I hear, I would think that's hard as an athlete who performed at a really, really high level as a Prime, as a yourself. And I'm wondering, is that hard to do when you're going into coaching these even professionals? They're still kids. When you coaching these professionals, and you might want them to do it how you did it because you had so much success. Is that hard trying to?
Oh, it's extremely hard because they not me. Not knocking it. It's the fact that I took a very unorthodox route to get to my success, right? As much as I want to coach them on a philosophy or style or ideology that I thought has made me successful, it may not make them successful that way. And I think one great thing about Prime is that Prime is like a motivational book with legs.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Seriously.
yeah.
It's the fact that he don't gotta pour himself into you. It's the fact that he could ignite who you are, the champion inside of you. You know what I mean? The fact he shows and says, I did this, this, and this. And I got here this, and this way. That's my success. You can have that same success. You can create your own pattern. You can create your own success. But these are the rules and the steps you got to abide by to get to that success. And he lets them have that because as a man and you are cultivating and help other men become men, you have to have a layer of accountability. If I'm coddling you and say, man, do it like this the whole way, then it's at some point where I'm not going to be there as a coach. It's called a non-coachable moment. And your bottom going to fall out, dog.
Is that hard to do, though? Because you were so great. Is that hard to coach kids that don't get it like you got it?
It is. It's hard because you become numb to it sometimes. You just be like, okay, all right, okay. And then that one comes along, you be like,
make it worth it.
Yeah, it wakes you up. You be like, oh, hold on now.
Okay.
We got something right here.
Okay.
Then that makes you excited.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. We got into the conversation. We came here because you were working. Can we tell the people what you got going on? Let's get this out the way real quick.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sure.
We got lost in the conversation.
Good convo, man.
Yeah, we're gonna go back to it, but
good convo.
You got something here. Yeah. Can you explain what this is?
So, all right. So we have Happy Farmer products. Okay, Happy Farmer products are hemp CBD infused products. So like this right here is a lotion. Okay, so it's good for after you work out, you have a hard day, tough day, muscles are tight, muscles are sore, anything that you're doing. After you take your shower, you can rub this on your body. It's gonna relax your muscles, right? So you've seen BioFreeze, Icy Hot, stuff like that. So the chemical compounds in Icy Hot and BioFreeze, it basically it's a tingle, and it makes you think the tingles is working, right? The tingles thinking like, oh, my muscles feeling better, I'm better.
It confuses you.
It's almost
it distracts you.
Yeah, like a placebo, basically, right? But with this right here, with the infuse of the CBD and the hemp in it, actually what it does is it don't tingle, it don't smell, it relaxes the muscles. It's almost like getting a massage. So those tight, tense areas that you can use, put it up in there right there after you finish working out, I guarantee you in 10 minutes, you'll feel a difference. You know what I mean? Even if you had an injury that has been there for years, right? You just didn't know how to be able to fix it. I guarantee you, all you need to do is make sure those layers of muscles are relaxed and you'll see a difference.
Okay.
Same thing, we have the face cream over here, man. Face cream right here. What'd you say I had in there earlier?
Retinol, bro.
Retinol. There we go. I learned something today.
What is that? What is that?
So with the retinol, help me out with the retinol.
Tell us.
I mean, I don't know the proper word for it, but basically it tightens and firms skin and allows for cellular regeneration faster.
Okay.
But it is meant to wear at night for any gentleman watching. But it's great for wrinkles and fine lines and looking.
So if y'all might don't hear it, but just Google what retinol is. Just Google it.
Hand me the packets right there. So with the packets, we also have like tabs, chewables, things like that as well, right? And those a lot of people are apprehensive what they ingest in their body, especially now. It's very health conscious.
Mm-hmm.
So all our product is basically almost like farm to table. So Happy Farmer is legitimately a happy farmer. The dude makes it in his farm in Clarks, Tennessee, and it's like basically like a mom and pop place. And I had the opportunity to be able to work with them. So with the Sunbeam, these tablets right here, still all of it's CBD infused, but it also has B12, B6 in it. You take it in the morning. Those days you wake up, you're antsy, you know what I mean? You're already aggravated. You don't feel like going to work. You take something like this, it'll smooth you out, calm you down because of the CBD, but you'll still get that little bump of like energy from the B12, B6, which are all natural. So it ain't sugars, it ain't make you jittery and things like that. So the counterpart of the Sunbeam is the Moonbeam.
Okay.
So it's for night. So as you're just being more calm, more relaxed, and you want to go to sleep, this is something that you can take. It has melatonin in it as well, so it help you get to sleep a little better, a little easier.
Okay.
You got the Wild Oats and you got the Wild Horse. Wild Oats is 10 milligrams of CBD in it, right? So it give you a little nice, little easy buzz for the weekends when you just want to relax and chill. And the High Horse. The High Horse has 30 milligrams of CBD in it.
It is what it sounds like.
It is what it sounds like.
Okay.
So you're going to have a good time. You're going to have a real good time.
Can professional athletes use this?
So in certain sports.
Okay.
So in
not
certain
track
sports.
though. Just curious. I don't know.
So track is different, right? So CBD and hemp is such a ambiguous situation right now. Let's just say THC, right? THC can be used out of competition. So if you're getting tested at home and they come at your door, knock on your door and test you at home, you can have a joint in your mouth and you can be pissing in the cup at the same time. It doesn't matter. But when you're in competition...
THC is the actual marijuana? I don't know.
Well, the compound of THC and CBD makes, marijuana.
Okay.
So, but with CBD, it doesn't give you that same effect as THC. So this is something that could be taken, but only under discretion. I want everyone to go to the USADA page, go to the WADA page, go whatever page you need to do to make sure you do your own research on it. But I guarantee you it's something that's going to help you recover much better.
Yo, can I ask you something? Just curious. Just even think about back to the Sha'Carri thing. Like you're not supposed to use marijuana, but is that an enhancer? Or just curious what you think. Because I think we see, I don't know if you know this, but we see Ricky Williams, he has a big push for marijuana right now because of the benefits that it has for your body and just it helps you out, right? I don't want to. He has something called Hyman. Shout out to Ricky Williams if you get a chance to check him out. But he's been pushing that for a minute.
Yeah,
and I think even now the NFL are starting to, or NBA. I didn't study this part. Just having a conversation. Bear with me, man. Judge charge to my brain, not my heart. And I think like one of the NBA or the NFL, we see them letting loose with the marijuana a little bit now.
That's NBA. NFL too, but NBA for sure. Like,
is that enhancement? Like, is that fair that even happened? Just like outside of the rules, just curious how you feel as a person, like when you saw that happen.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I mean, we all know what it's like to see somebody high or if you've been high, right? So their reaction's slower. They're more calm and loose. They're having a good time. They're just chilling, right? They're not focused. They're not, at attention, right? That doesn't help you when you're in sports. You need to be the opposite when you're in sports.
On contrary, I seen somebody, I forgot his name. Again, guys, I wasn't even, just thought about it. The guy from Speak, I forgot his name. He had a great point. Well, I don't know if it was him or somebody else, but they were saying that if you do have anxiety, right?
True.
It could be because that's something that comes with the sport. We talk about walking to the pit, having that feeling in your gut. I mean, it could help you be calm, and that could be
Yeah, but all right, cool. You could say that.
Argue that with me, yeah.
All right, I'm arguing that with you. You take in CBD marijuana, right? And it takes away your anxiety. And then you go out there and you play your game, right? You ball out, you have a good game. You did that naturally. That's you. You didn't come stronger. You didn't come faster. You know what I'm saying? You didn't go to a point where people were fatigued. You still was out there getting it, right? So I don't see where the enhancement is. If anything, you're just even the playing field because you were already at a deficit. You have performance anxiety, and that's that's debilitating to a lot of athletes out there. A lot,
But
bro.
that's still natural though, right? Like you shouldn't be able to do anything to fix that. Like you should be able to, you gotta, I don't want to sound in sensitive, but like that's still something that you should be able to work through, just like I had to work through it, right?
Yeah, but I mean, some people aren't built like we built.
But does that, I feel like that's an excuse.
I mean, some people have to
Go get built like I'm built.
Some people have to go see therapists. Some people have to, go check out motivational books.
So do what you
things
gotta
like
do.
that.
When
That's
you
cool.
came back, you had to do what you had to do to beat Usain.
Okay, so what's the difference between if I go see a therapist and the therapist tells me you're good enough to do this, and then I start believing what she says, and I go out there and I do it. To the effect,
That's not taking anything.
I'm taking her advice. I'm taking her advice, bro. I'm taking her
That's
advice.
I do want to ask you, just since we're here again, I know it gets repetitive at times. Shit, probably all the time. I gotta ask you this though. What happened with your situation exactly?
So when I was 18 years old, from when I was second grade, I took Adderall.
Yeah, that was
at that point, I was taking medication for ADD,
Mhm.
right? And then that was at a chemical compound in the Adderall that was an amphetamine. I didn't know that, right? At that age, you 18, 19 years old, you don't know what's in that, right?
Mhm.
You're just doing what you got to do to be able to pass classes and just feel normal, right? So that was the situation. Mind you, Adderall was not even on the ban list. So even
Mhm.
when you look it up and I had a bottle in my hand, I could never see, oh, Adderall's not on the ban list, right?
Right.
So I dealt with that situation. So I was in college. So I really wasn't punished because it was more of a professional punishment that was handed down to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was still able to compete. And then once I came back, it was a 2-year suspension. And then 1 year passed.
Yeah.
1 year passed. And after that 1 year passed, I won NCAA championships again, everything like that. They sent me a letter and saying, we're lifting your ban. In the history of track and field, the history of drug testing, that has never been happened.
Yeah, never happened.
I've never heard anybody say, hey, we're just going to lift your ban. You good.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what happened. So then fast forward to about 2006, I was in a situation where I was working with this massage therapist. And I broke it off with him where I didn't want none of his business because I feel like he was trying to extort me, right? He wanted more money, because he saw the success that was coming from 2003, 2004, 2005, and he was still getting paid what he was supposed to get paid because that was our deal, right?
Right.
So he felt like, well, this person's getting paid, that person's over there getting paid, they getting little bonuses, everybody's happy except for me. So I fired him, It was a collective. We got together, my agent, my coach, and was like, we got to let this person go because it's becoming toxic to our circle.
Mm-hmm.
So then crunch time happened, couldn't find anybody who was up to his qualifications of what he could do as a therapist, stretching, massage, understanding biomechanics, things like that, right? Usually those kind of people are fractured, right? So you have someone who understands biomechanics, you understand somebody who's a massage therapist.
You bring them together.
Yeah, this
Okay.
person was all of that in one. You know what I'm saying? So I bit the bullet and I was like, we had a conversation. I was like, man, love to still work with you, So we started the season off in 2006. He was still working with me. Everything was copacetic. Everything was love. We had a conversation probably almost mid-season, and it got kind of a little heated. We was at a race in Kansas City. It was a relay. Nothing major, nothing big at all. Just they invited us to come out there because it was their first annual relay they was trying to put on to make some excitement, hype from it, right? And after that race, things got funny. Like, I'll come across the line. He just was so adamant about make sure I get on the table so he can massage me. Never was acting like that before. Get on the table, he's massaging me. When you was getting massaged, usually how you laying?
On your stomach.
All right, cool, right? So when you lay on your stomach, you can't see what's going on behind you, right? So it was told to me later that, he was massaging with gloves on, which is unheard of, right? Using massage
At
therapist.
that time, especially.
At that time, especially, right?
Yeah.
So then I remember getting up the table and then going doing my press conference. And I remember sitting in press conference, I'm like, man, my legs feel real tingly. But the adrenaline was still pumping in me. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe it was like some biofreeze or like I'm just hype, you know what I mean? So come back after that, didn't get drug tested there. And then, well, I did get drug tested there. And then that drug test went in, and that was the one that tested positive for higher levels of testosterone.
And so I'm just curious, because I seen like maybe more than 10 years ago, you had an interview on like a news station where you apologized to the United States. And you just apologized for letting them down. But I'm trying to put myself in that situation, and like, I don't, what even, besides the love for the sport, if that situation did you so dirty, right, and you knew if they was wrong, why even come back? Why even put yourself back? Why even train so hard and be like, man, I'm coming back to the sport?
Because I love the sport. I love it, Doug. I mean, as simple as that. I didn't have, and on top of that, I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, doper, that ain't me. I'm legit. I've been legit since I was a little kid. I was winning national titles when I was a little kid, and 6-time NCAA champion. So my pedigree stands for itself. So it isn't like I just came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like I it's an arc to it. Like I built myself up to be the greatness that I am today. You know, I worked hard and I put that work in. You know what I mean? And there's no athlete that trained with me who would give me the side eye and be like, oh no, dog. I'll be out there, I'll be grinding. That's me, you know? So me coming back in the sport it was a few things. I ain't gonna lie, man. It was the fact that I wanted to clear my name, right? So it can be able to open up the door to my kids have a fair legacy to build. A clean legacy to build their name off of,
I can see
right?
that. I understand that.
Yeah, so that was something that really mattered to me. Never said that to my son, you know what I mean? But that's something that I know was going to be with me forever, and I didn't want it to be with them. So that's what I worked hard for as well.
Did you ever try to at least sue the guy?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to sue when you don't have certain grounds to stand on.
Like clear-cut proof.
Exactly, right?
I'm just thinking,
but
like,
this is what I did, though. I sued USADA. So I'm in this situation. I could talk about it now. I had a gag order on me. Real talk. So since 2008 to the year 2021, I could not, as long as I was in track and field, I was competing, I couldn't talk about the fact that I sued USADA in the court of law and I won. Money as well. So they were willing to pay, but their stipulation was, we're going to pay you, but you can't talk about it.
Oh, wow, okay.
Because that will open up Pandora's box, and the other athletes will come back and be like, well, my situation was kind of fishy too. So maybe I want to open up this box and revisit my case as well. Because through discovery in my case, they were breaking a lot of their own rules. I'm cool, you got rules and your rules are getting broken and you trying to uphold the law of your rules. But when you're breaking your own rules just to be able to be spiteful, to be able to catch people so it can make you look good, then I have an issue with that. And that's what happened. Through discovery in my court case, we found out that the packages that all the samples go in, right? Drug testing samples, urine cups. It goes into one big bag, right? One big.
That don't even make sense.
It don't even sound high tech at all, right?
No, it don't make
Not
sense.
at all. It don't. It goes into one big bag, and that bag is sealed. Once it's put into the transporter, meaning the truck or whatever it's going to go, it's transported to the location where the lab is. Now, in between, there's a person that rides with it, as in like a Brinks truck, right?
Right, yeah,
A
yeah.
person that's handling and rides with it, right? So he has a login. So he has to log in and say, okay, bag was open. So once the bag is tampered open, their rules state they're supposed to get rid of all samples.
That makes sense, though.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, science, any cross-contamination, one, first of all, but two, if you open it, that's with anything in science and medicine, whatever. That's what I would assume.
Facts.
What I don't know. I'm just saying.
Facts. So with that being said, that the whole situation should have never happened. Never happened. That all of them samples, my sample, and everybody else's sample in this situation should have been thrown out. Should have been thrown out, right? So another situation, and that it's the lack of common sense I feel for my case that made me, and I saw how deep it went, and that's why I just like, I can show them better than I can tell them. And
Okay.
so I'll give you an example. When you're in a bad situation, right, like I was in, they appoint lawyers to you because they say that, well, these lawyers specialize in our kind of law. So you could pick from this pool of lawyers, right? So we go through, we picking lawyers. All right, cool, we're gonna get this lawyer. All right, cool, we looking, doing the research, me and my parents, right? And then we realized that these lawyers
Still on the other side. I
are in
mean, bro,
bed.
again, I'm just.
They are
this
in
is-
bed with USADA.
Yeah.
USADA takes them on vacations at the end of the year.
It's like I deal with a lot of rappers. It's like a newly rapper signing a deal and using the record label's lawyer. We know not to do that.
Facts.
Well, okay, I'm listening.
So I'm young. I don't know that. My parents know nothing about track and field. Know nothing about the court of law either. We experienced all this for our first time on our own, right? High stress. So we have a first lawyer, ran through probably $200,000 using that person, right? Now, mind you, they're asking us silly questions like, well, we got a letter back from USADA and the IAAF, and they said, if you don't contest the science, then we won't try to give you a lifetime ban. Because that's what I was up against. Two positives equals a lifetime ban in our sport, right? So you get one positive, that's 2 years. And the second one, lifetime ban. That's how it is. So they sent a letter, not provoked, saying if you don't contest our science, we will not go for a lifetime ban.
He's trying to shut you up.
Right? Still, once again, young, 18, 19, 20, whatever, naive. We're like, all right, cool. We just playing along. We abide by the rules. Come on, we never even, it was never in our intentions to cheat in the first place. We feel like this whole situation was going to be fixed, right? Never did. It's the fact that we saw the dirty moves that they were trying to make. If I contested the science, or you asking me not to contest your science, there must be an issue then.
Yeah. First of all, me contesting the science is an opportunity for me to prove my innocence, one. And two, it's kind of like in a court of law today when we I'm just being real. A lot of African Americans, we go to jail and they give us a plea deal and they try to scare you because like if you do this, you can get the maximum 10, 20 years. Nobody want that. So it's like, man, I'll take a plea deal even if I didn't do anything because I don't want to lose.
So that brings me to my next part of the conversation. So that's exactly what I felt like. Because once again, through discovery, we found, because they gave us information to show us other cases that were similar to my case, right? So you had one guy who tested for cocaine, and he gave him a warning. He got no ban. White athlete. Then we have another guy who tested positive for Adderall, but he had no prescription for it. You see what I'm saying? White guy. So all these situations where are similar or worse than mine, they were giving them warnings and they were letting them go. But in my situation, I felt like because of who I was and who I was around, the coach at that time, and even the color of my skin, I felt like I was receiving a way harsher punishment, to the point where you give somebody 4 years away from their job or what they do, their craft, that's a death sentence basically, right? And for 4 years, I had no income, no nothing for 4 years. I was lucky enough that I was making a really good amount of money to where I can live off of that money for those 4 years to sustain myself, right? But the fact is, I don't think they ever thought I was ever going to come back after 4 years. And I came back, and they didn't know what to do with me. So then they repunished me. So now after I served 4 years, I come back in the sport, and they quickly made up a rule where, oh, now you blackball from all diamond leagues. So that means I couldn't run any major races and make any real money.
Yeah.
So now you tell me I got to run these hole-in-wall meets to make some coins off that was less than what my airfare was to even get there. You know what I'm saying? So I literally was, when I came back, I really was in the mud, dog, like grinding.
Yo, I want to first just say, you know, I don't know how I want to word this, but I do truly feel bad because, just being honest, I'm going to be transparent, even me doing my research and stuff, it really ain't make sense to me because, like, if that happens to me, I'm not going down I'm not going down like that. In my mind, just follow me, right? And, like, I'm coming back, I'm speaking on it every single time because y'all did me wrong. But now I think about it, I mean, you did come back at 30 or something, like, or you was older.
I came back around, I was about maybe 20, 29.
And that's when things that's when you really start to come into yourself I'm thinking as a young, like if I came back at 25, 26, I'm pissed. Like
Mhm.
I'm always saying something. But I guess the mindset had to be like just locked in. Like we were talking about yesterday, how
But I did. I felt just like you was feeling. You understand? But as a black man in a sport that's ran by white individuals, if I came back as an angry black man, what
does
was I
that
going
do?
to be?
Yeah.
An angry black man.
But you only learn, you only understand that at 29, 30. A little bit, even, but 31, 32. That's when you really understand that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So what I will say again, we just getting acquainted with, I'm always like as transparent and real on camera. I want to say, because I don't know, I wasn't there. If that's really the case, man, I'm really sorry for that. And I know I ain't had nothing to do with it. But again, not saying, I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to accuse you of nothing.
Oh,
but
no,
I'm saying,
no.
because I wasn't there.
Yeah.
But if that was the case, that's to this day that would hurt.
Yeah. You gotta realize that I had to live with that for the rest of my life. Like, imagine how many years ago was 2006?
Like, almost 20 years ago,
yeah,
bro.
dog. I still gotta live with that.
And at this point, like, you can't even, again, it's like, I'm giving chills because, like,
It hurts when people ask me, "Oh, where were you?" And when they reference certain dates, "Oh, where were you in 2008?" In my mind, band. You know what I'm saying? Or when people bring it up, period.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
You know what I mean?
That's literally a part of your story. If that's, again, I'm just being real. If that's the case, it shouldn't even be a part of your story. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shouldn't even be, like, you can't, that's a part of the legacy. And that shouldn't be it.
The 4 years cannot hold a candle to what the emotional damage it did to me, bro. I ain't gonna lie. The fact is that I was smart enough to realize that whatever emotions that were off tilt, I had to turn into aggression to be able to come back and use it and weaponize it. That really was saved me because Justin could not get back out there. I'm not built like that. I would have folded. I ain't gonna lie. But Justin Gatlin, Jay Gat, he was built like that. I had to build a different persona. You know what I mean? Because I would walk in rooms and people look at me like I'm a ghost. They'd be like, hold on, damn, there he is right there. So I had no friends when I came back, bro.
I mean, it was
You know
even
what I
times
mean?
people like booed you. Like, you got
Yeah.
booed at Beijing.
I got booed in London.
Yo, being almost, what is like 10 plus years now past it, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever think about it? Like, because you, like, again, you can't do an interview without people bringing it up because it's a part of the story.
Yeah.
Like, do you still think about it to this day sometimes?
Like a what if, or just think about a period?
Nah, like, just think, not what if, but like just the
Fuck,
messed
yeah.
up part.
Yeah. It was, for a long time, I thought about it daily, dog. Daily, because it was a part of my life. It was times where, as we spoken early in this conversation, it was times where you talking about me going out and being acknowledged. It was times where I did not want to be acknowledged. I was embarrassed to be in public, bro. I was afraid that somebody was going to come up to me and talk to me and mention that because I wasn't healed yet. You know what I'm saying? It was hard for me to even discuss and talk about this like we're talking about it now without me crying about it because I felt like years in my career were taken from me and I could never get them back.
A lot of times with the hurt comes anger, right? And I'm curious, and this is just for me, I do a lot of interviews, and sometimes I get people who are seasoned and are able to talk about the past and reflect on it and learning things, but then other people, more sort of younger artists or younger people, they don't want to talk. They say, I don't want to talk about this. How important or not important is it for you to be able to talk about it and just talk about it freely?
And really important. It's really important, dog. I think that's a good thing about this generation now and where we're at in society where a lot of people have their own social media. They can use their own voice. I didn't have the opportunity to use my own voice, you know? So I felt like I was always subjected to whatever the media was going to say about me, and that's who I was. You know what I mean? But now it's very important for you to get your point across. Why not? There's always two sides to a story. My mom will always tell me it's two sides to a story, and somewhere in the middle lies the truth. So if you don't tell what your side is, the world's always going to take the side that's out there, and they're going to think that's who you are. You a bad guy. You a doper. You this. You ignorant. You whatever. But if you don't tell who your side of the story, what do you have to stand on?
And I think that too, but I don't want to, but I'm getting a little mature, so I understand. I'm starting to understand the other side of sometimes you not there yet to want to even speak about it. Like, bro, I don't want to talk about this. Like, let's skip this question. Because at first I'm like, bro, this is what makes you human.
Yeah.
This is how we gonna relate to you. But I guess if you're not ready for it to talk about it, it's like I kind of get that.
Do you feel like it's a man thing though? Do you feel like us
Oh,
as
no.
men, we kind of sitting on things to figure out how we can digest the emotions of it?
Not from my perspective, because it's men and women. Like,
So why do you feel like you just don't want to talk about it? Because you just don't want to talk
oh
about
no,
it?
me?
Well, I'm just yeah.
Oh. Like, so usually, again, when I'm talking about work,
In
usually
general,
the PR, okay, usually the PR, like,
Yeah.
we don't want to bring any extra attention to this situation.
Yeah.
I personally hate it, but now that I'm understanding, like, one, you might not be ready to talk about it, right? You might not even have the words to be able to articulate it, because, again, no matter how good our conversation is, once this interview is out, whoever who wants to do something can do something. You know what I'm saying? Even if I didn't, even if it wasn't a good conversation, even if it was a good conversation, they can make it whatever they want to make it.
Yeah.
So I can understand that part of, like, let's not even give them the opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
And at one point in time, that's where I was. I didn't want to talk about it no more. It'll be times I do interviews and be like, nah, we don't want to talk about that. It'll be a very tender and a very delicate situation for me to talk about, right? But then as my second half of my career unfolded and it showed just as much or more success as the first part of my career, I understood the importance of me talking about my times where it was dark for me, because it showed how I climbed out of that darkness
Exactly.
and became the success that I knew I was going to be.
And that's what
So I had to talk about it.
I think that's important. I wish everybody, but again, I can only understand from a distance. You feel me? That's my perspective, but whatever. Yo, I'm so glad you're able to get on the platform and talk about that. If it was anything that could be a learning lesson for young athletes out there, right? Or even somebody that might I should carry, right? Like, anybody that was going through that, what advice do you give them? If not even advice, words of care, like, what do you say to them to make them feel better, to make them understand that it's not the end of the world? Because I know at that time you felt like it was the end of the world. Same for Sha'Carri, whoever it might be going through it.
100%. My advice would be, you have to realize that you are stronger than the situation you put in. You're stronger than the situation you put in. You're going to be able to survive it. You just got to make sure that you up your IQ game, you become smarter, and you realize how you can be able to counter and be able to get back on the track of success. That's it. You can't, it's going to be emotional, but you can't let emotions control your situation. You got to start thinking. You got to, because that's the only way you're going to get out of situations. You think yourself out of bad issues. You don't love or emotion yourself out of bad issues. So you have to think yourself out of those situations. And I think that you have a lot of athletes now, because when you look at our sport, right, and you don't looking at athletes who are just testing positive anymore. Now they're getting banned off of, like, whereabout infractions. And that's just, like, basically you not being in the place you should be at the time you said you was going to be. That's it. So just off of that, those third parties to the government, USADAs, the WADAs and stuff like that, the AIUs, they're going to put out there where it's going to be really subjective to the audience to say, well, this person wasn't where he said he's going to be, so he missed the test, so now we're going to ban him. So now it's going to make him think like, oh, you ducking and dodging test. But then you realize life is intertwining with these athletes' careers. You're talking about a 20-year-old, 21-year-old athlete, and they're supposed to get on a laptop or computer and sit down there and go through all this and figure out how to be able to click and say, my window of testing is going to be at this time, and please, and this is an annual thing you have to do. You got to constantly do it. And you out in the clubs as a youngster, you out in the clubs having fun. You might pick up a little something. You might say, you know what, I'm not going to go home tonight. You ain't thinking about changing your whereabouts.
Let me
You know what I'm saying?
Let me help
doing
out.
that?
You went to Tennessee, so you might not have went through this. It's like, for my HBCU students out there, bro, I be forgetting to do my FAFSA when I was in college, bro.
Exactly.
They had to remind me to do my FAFSA. Am I lying? Like, and we got a class for that. Like, and that was once a year. So I'm showing you that I understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, bro, nobody, and granted, you could say that you're professional, heavy the head that wear the crown, to whom much is given, much is, I get all that. But when you 18 and 19 and 20, even 23, bro, you not.
You ain't thinking about
thinking
that.
about that.
You ain't
like,
thinking about that.
Yeah, that's serious. And even with like the social media, I think that is the downfall because, and that's one thing that I thank God for, bro. Just being honest, and I'm truly grateful about is, and I know you can appreciate this, is not having those mistakes out and open now. Like nowadays, a 23-year-old. Let's think about it. Some people could say what they want. I don't care. What's the basketball player name? Ja Morant, right? He's been a 23-year-old. It just is what it is. It might be stupid to some or whatever the case may be, but he's not able to make mistakes like your everyday person.
All right, I'm glad you brought that up. Did he break a rule or a law, or was it just morally not in a good light?
It wasn't in a good light.
Okay, cool.
But I'm not even talking about the moral conspect. I'm just talking about a mistake, bro. Like it's mistakes that, like I said, I thank God, like, bro, it's things that I did at 18, 19, 23, 25 that because I wasn't a superstar or I wasn't popular, nobody gave a fuck. Like, yeah, my social group probably judged me, but I was able to get through it. Nowadays, a 23-year-old can't really be a 23-year-old or a superstar, right? Because the moment they do anything that's outside of the normal or that's a mistake, people are so quick to judge you.
You're right.
And it's like, I do feel a little bad because, like, bro, like, it's things that I did way worse than that.
You're right, 100%. And I feel like, especially since we brought up Ja, you got to look at it from his perspective. He owns a gun, registered, law-abiding, right?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't break any rules. He didn't break any laws. It was something that was morally not in the right light, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. So if it's morally not in the right light, how am I supposed to know and where am I supposed to read this at that, okay, you guys don't allow this? Because it's just something that they saw him do, and in real time, they made a decision to say, oh, we going to ban you or we going to fine you. I feel like that's wrong. That responsibility should be on a federation to cover all bases, to make whatever rules you decide to make, and you put it out there in front of the athletes, and then you say, these are our rules, laws, and moral things that we stand for, and anything else is wrong. You can't say this man can't have his gun and do whatever the hell he want to do with his gun, especially if it's all legal. All legal.
And I don't even want to seem like I'm making excuses for nobody, right? But I'm just, bro, I was young. I'm from the hood, bro. I done did some retarded stuff, bro. And I'm just really just empathizing. Yeah, he made a mistake several times, right? Cool. But if you judging somebody, right, I want you to look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, how many times you made the same mistake? Really, bro. Like, that's why I'm not trying to make excuses, but I just want people, I feel like the internet dehumanizes, I don't know if that's a real word, but whatever. It dehumanizes people sometimes because it's like, you're so quick to say what somebody is doing is wrong. Bro, how many times you with that dude that's putting his hands on you still with him, whatever it can be? I hope, ladies, you're not. But how many times you stayed in a situation where you shouldn't have, you made decisions that you shouldn't have over and over again, right? But it's like, we be like so quick to judge somebody else, pass judgment on somebody else for because we ain't do it, but we did other things.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, y'all gotta relax on this internet. I'm sorry, I ain't mean to.
No, you're
it's like,
it's real.
Yeah, bro.
It's real, especially as an athlete. You put on a pedestal. So when you put on the pedestal, you're judged at a different. You are judged different. Period.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Still a human being, just like everybody else.
You are. You're still a human being, dog. Still a human being.
Yo, you got some business coming up. Wait, before we get to the business, I'm curious because you said you wasn't able to do Diamond League sometimes. You had to do other things. Then it wasn't getting as much money, bro. How does track runners get paid, bro? Outside of sponsorships, I'm just curious.
So sponsorships would fall under shoe companies. Shoe companies rule our sport, basically, right?
Okay.
So you running in Nike, you most likely are sponsored by Nike. I'm running Adidas, I'm most likely gonna be sponsored by Adidas. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So those shoe companies are gonna pay you. Usually they're going to pay your base salary. They're going to pay your bonuses if you win championships, right? Those are where you're going to get the lion's share of your money, right? So now you got to think of yourself as basically a contractor. So now these meet promoters who are putting on meets, it can be in Rome, it can be in Paris, it can be anywhere in the world, right? If you're good enough, they're going to invite you. If you're not there just yet, usually what happens, your agent will reach out to the meet promoter and say, hey, we want to get, a lane. Is it possible?
And you can go, but you probably won't get paid to go.
It depends. In negotiation, every negotiation is different.
Okay.
That's the weird thing about our sport. It's not no cut and dry, like you show up, everybody getting the same amount of money. It's like, okay, my agent negotiated this for me, and I'm at a higher percentage. I can get appearance fee for just showing up. An appearance fee can be 10 times more than what the prize money is. So I'm just there showing up because that athlete, who's a premium athlete, they're putting butts in seats. So then that meet promoter has a little more incentive to give you more money because he knows you packing out the stadium.
Coming back, though, did that help with the bag? Well, of course, you can't go to Diamond League, but I would assume it's controversy around your name, like shit.
So I remember my agent, and I was very frustrated, dog, like after a while, because I couldn't get into big meets, and make any kind of money. I was like, you know what? Why? What are we doing here, right? And he's like, look, the great equalizer is if you run fast. I was like, well, I can't get in the big meets to run fast. He's like, if you're good enough, you run big times in small meets. And that's what we did. We started, I literally, dog, I started from the bottom. Like all them dudes that I raced for years, I had to work my way up to get back to race them again, dog.
That gotta be.
It's like you remember back in the day when you playing video games, dog, and then somebody bumped the console or some shit like that.
You gotta beat all the levels again.
Yeah, beat all the levels again, dog. So I had to go all the way back through, dog, all the way to the top, and then I finally. One meet promoter who was in Diamond Leagues, he said, you know, I'm gonna take a chance on you because I was running fast times. He knew that was going to get attention. So he put me in the race. And then after that, went in the race, other Diamond Leagues started kind of relaxing a little more. Not every Diamond League, for even up to the day I retired, there was some Diamond Leagues who didn't want me and didn't take my invitation if I wanted to be there. And they were like, you can come, but we're not gonna pay you appearance to be here.
Yo, so why is it? I'm confused. Like, so I understand the pay gap from NBA to WNBA. Not a lot of people watch WNBA. From a lot of male and female. But even I was reading a while ago that it's a pay gap for male sprinters and female sprinters.
No, not really.
Difference. No,
not anymore.
All right, because I was gonna say I didn't understand that.
Not anymore.
Okay,
not anymore.
I seen Sydney just sign like what a 1-2 mil.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah. The thing in our sport is if you have the it factor, the it factor is you're gonna get paid because of that.
Okay.
You can be male or female. As long as you have it, you winning, you successful, you have some kind of persona about you, you're gonna get paid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of getting paid, you about to start training. Wait, can I talk about this?
Yeah, you can talk about it.
You about to start training so you can break the record in the fastest 40. But on top of that, you trying to start training other athletes to have a faster 40, which is going to get them a bag too.
Facts.
Especially NFL players.
Exactly. So my project, you can call it Project 40 or 40 for 40. So that's been working on. So I'm gonna basically simulate me training like a combine athlete who's getting ready to do the draft for the NFL. I'm gonna train just like them, 6 to 8 weeks. And then within that time period, I'm gonna run a 40. Now, once I get to that point, I have enough confidence in myself that I can break the 40-yard NFL record.
What's the record?
4.21.
Nobody ran a 4.1?
Nope.
Who ran a 4.21? The dude from the Titans or no?
I think it was Chris Johnson, wasn't it?
Yeah, Chris Johnson, right?
Yeah,
He played with the Titans, right?
Yeah.
He ran a 4.21?
Yeah.
All right. I know a little something. I be remembering a
Look
little
at you
something.
there.
Okay. And you think you could beat Chris Johnson record?
Yeah, I know I could beat Chris Johnson record, man.
Well,
No disrespect. No slight. That's my boy though. You know what I'm saying? Like I really talk to him though. But the fact is, at the end of the day, you know, what I want to show, because I'm getting to that point now where I'm coaching, and the knowledge that I do have, I want to pass it on, right? So I want to pass that knowledge of speed, agility at a high elite level on to the next generation. And I feel like what's going to set me apart is not only can I coach it, but I can still do it. I can show you how to do it. I can get down the grind with you.
At 40 plus?
At 40 plus.
Yo, if you beat the record at 40 plus, that's embarrassing. I'm sorry. I don't care.
I'll be theoretically competing against that class of guys who are like
18,
pretty much half
19,
my age.
Yeah,
dog.
19 to 21.
Yeah, dog.
The people that's running it.
Yeah.
Sheesh. So you really think you got this?
I think I can do it.
I'm wishing you the best. I ain't gonna lie. You sound like, who you sound like?
What I sound like?
Terrell Owens. Because he think he can do everything. He'll tell you he the fastest. He be like, bro, he's still a competitor, bro.
I ain't gonna say I can do everything now. But the fact is, I really feel like this is something that's been talked about, and this is a conversation that a lot of people have. Who's faster, football players or track athletes, right? And then you'll say, oh, track athletes are faster. All right, cool. But then you'll have a side that says, well, they're running on rubber. And then they're running with spikes. And they're using starting blocks. You know what I mean? And then other people say, well, football players are faster because of such and such. I want to be able to dead that whole conversation. I'm a track athlete at a high level who's done it for a long time. I'm gonna go into what your house is. I'm gonna put on cleats. I'm gonna do it on turf. I'm gonna make sure that I go through the whole step process that y'all have gone through to show you that, track speed is superior.
So if
There's no beef. There's no Crips and Bloods here. The fact is, you want to be fast, and like you said, the 40-yard dash is a multi-million-dollar business.
Yeah.
It's gonna get you higher up in your draft.
That's a
And
fact.
a lot of these athletes know that. The agents know that, and these teams know that. The thing is, well, why don't you go straight to the source then? Why are you finding somebody who's reading and studying books? Why don't you find somebody who's done it, who's been in the fight for over 20 years?
Yo, so you don't never think about like you gonna fuck the game up? Because if you're teaching mad people how to run the 40 fast, now you about to just you gonna fuck the whole game up.
Call me Amazon, dog.
They definitely mess the game up.
Amazon get.
So if they change it, at least you got a fingerprint on that. If they change some rules and they like I did that. That was good for me. Nah, this is good, bro. Anything we missed? I feel like we talked about it.
I think we covered it all, dog.
Bro, this is fire, bro. I really appreciate you, bro. Like if they don't, I acknowledge you as the legend you are. I appreciate this just as if it was motherfucking, I don't know, a Jay-Z sitting next to me. Honestly, I salute you, bro. I
appreciate that,
thank you for pulling up. Hopefully we can have more conversations down the line, whatever, when you in town or whatever. Bro. I
I
appreciate
kept it real. I told you, hey, we couldn't get it done yesterday. I said we're gonna carve out time. We're gonna get it done today.
You did.
know what I'm
You
saying?
kept your word, man. Your
Yeah,
word, man.
real talk.
Justin Gatlin, J Hill podcast. It don't get no better than this, man. It's a wrap. We out.